Hey all, and welcome back for the finale of Pokemon Sword's post-game story. The site where we did a thing and beat Rose and such and so forth. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't prepared to do such a lustrous intro leading straight into a battle. It has kind of left me flustered a little bit, but look, they are a celebrity of sorts. They have at least 4 fans here. Oh my fucking god. Not a one was actually you bastards! I am genuinely pissed off at that. I remember feeling so when I was recording the goddamn thing.
No, like, they're sort of waving their hands around a little bit. That's about as close to a clap as we're going to get with this animation set.
That just perfectly exemplifies people's criticisms towards the laziness of Generation 8, I think.
Pretty much, yeah. It's that and the whole Piers, like, silent singing thing. Like, them two things are like this game's animation and direction.
That, and also the scene that we are going to get.
Oh, yes.
In a couple of minutes' time.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
Oh, I can't wait, but we've got a roadblock here first, and yeah, that's going to be a battle. You can probably figure that out for yourselves.
It's not going to be a tough one, but hey, this is Pokemon we're talking about here, and God forbid they put a hard mode in.
It's going to be the same battle we did like an hour ago.
Wrong. Wrong. No, it's going to be different, I swear.
She seems so upset because, like, this guy gave her a shitty Amazon review or something.
Well, to be fair, it was her first book and whatnot.
Yeah, true.
And I have to say, you can get very defensive over your first book. Like, my first book is my baby, and even though I'm aware of its flaws and also the things that it does well, it is my baby, and anybody who badmouths it is going to die.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite how taking feedback works, Rich.
I mean, also you have got the whole thing, obviously, with that Sonia wrote the truth, whereas when you've got a fake history and you've got the real history, it's kind of just like, it's true, but then equally, you know, people are idiots, and they're quite willing to believe in fake history, and that's why we end up with the world that we end up with.
Can you back up a little bit, please? You're kind of tickling my eyeballs here.
Just a tad, yeah.
Alas. Alright, here we go. Just to clarify, by the way, I don't know why they went for a fake news angle sort of thing, if it wasn't prevalent throughout. They touched on it slightly in the main game, but here it's like, oh, it's all fake, we are the real heroes, but again, I hadn't heard of these guys until the post-game roll around, so...
Yeah, it's one of those things where it needed foreshadowing in some way, shape or form. But there we go. I have to say, I don't think that Game Freak necessarily have a good story team in their team at present, because anybody who sort of understands how narratives work and how narratives are effective would have raised those issues. But also, you know, they might have not had the time, because they might have been rushed on things, they also might not have been listened to. I mean, that happens in quite a few organisations where people are just talking the truth and it still doesn't get through to idiots.
You're so close to naming and shaming someone, I can feel it.
I mean, like, I totally would do, but that would just be a little bit of a dangerous thing to do, but also, like, it's a general thing that happens across most organisations in some way, shape or form. There's a thing called a hippo, which is the highest paid person's opinion, and yeah, that's what tends to win, whether it's correct or not.
Basically, yeah. What have we got coming in now? You're giving Freddy another shot.
Well, might as well before they get stuffed in the box forever.
Well, I mean, like, it's made it right to the end of the fucking game, so done pretty well for an ineffective Pokemon.
Why is Leon the only one who has an Aegislash, by the way? Is there something I'm missing here?
I don't know, I suppose it's probably trying to be symbolic of, like, you know, it's the sword and shield and he's the master of the game or whatever, but it doesn't really come across, and it feels kind of weak just giving these post-game bonus bosses unevolved Pokemon.
Yeah.
I suppose they are also in the situation of, in-universe, they don't want to show characters who are stronger than Leon. Because that's, like, meant to be you.
Yeah, but he's the ex-champion now, so there isn't even a story excuse.
Well, they've tried to build him up so much, and I suppose they're trying to just let that side of, like, you're the one, this is your position, you're champion, you're better than Leon. But I feel like with things like this is where you do need a bit of story gameplay dissonance here. Like, in any RPG where you've got scaling levels, this is going to be an element. So when it comes to the actual Pokemon picks themselves as well, like, just, like, fuck that, just give us a challenging post-game boss, you know?
Okay. I understand completely. I'm going to shock this thing to death.
What, before it gets away?
Super emergency exit. Puts on a little jetpack and flies away.
Yeah, it's like Team Rocket in the fucking Universe series.
Oh, Jesus. Beat him again. Didn't see that coming.
I like how his pupils completely disappear in his shocked face animation.
Yeah, there's a little JoJo posing and whatnot. You know, it's fine. We all do it from time to time.
God, can he please gel that fucking hair?
No, it will remain floppy and flaccid till the end of days.
God, please just give this man a hair boner already.
What a phrase. Alright, I guess Shieldbert was up there, like, taunting the legendary dog, singing off key, me mama me, and so on and so forth.
I understand.
Who shall we put forward? No, I think we're good. Let's go. Yeah, they're going to be like steel type either way, so I think we're good. What is this DBZ sound effect going on here? Did you rip this from the internet?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no, it's not right now. Give it a couple of minutes. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we've got a lot of text for the moment.
We've got story.
Please, brother. My floppy hair was unable to hold them back.
It's okay, brother. There is medication for that.
Oh, lordy. This would have been a really interesting story to have instead of Rose and his insipid. We need to save the world from global warming now.
It's also interesting seeing Zamazenta's emotions raising to a fever pitch.
Yeah.
He's got this, like, the fucking Shadow Pokemon Hyper Mode animation going around it right now. It's great.
Oh, yeah, of course. But yeah, this whole, like, fake kings thing and, like, you know, fake news and false histories would have made a better story than the actual story we had.
Yes, agreed. Because also, actually, that is something that is terrifyingly relevant to the UK.
Oh, I thought Richie was about to start then.
No, like, just terrifyingly relevant to the UK. Also, you know, particularly America, but that's the more obvious one. Also, can I just say, I love how in the cutscene we had the glowing and sort of the like just the yellow, pure yellow eyes, and now, you know, he's got his pupils back and the glow has changed to just sort of, well, the sparkle's just changed to that.
Look, alright. I can't throw a Pokeball. I'm gonna kick another ball in his face.
Yes, you legendary beast of myths and legends and everything. Let's just throw a fucking rock at you.
Yeah, well, it's on fire, so, you know.
And also, it did a pretty good amount of damage, so...
Wow, you're really not set up to deal with me, are you, mate?
Oh, to be fair, he was just called here essentially against his will. He weren't planning to have, like, the fucking fire rabbit at him as well. God, the wolf call sound effect in this game is so cool, and like I've talked about this in both of the other songs where I've heard it, but it's just so like it's setting a bit of characterization for these wolves, and that is another reason why these feel a lot more developed than fucking Eternatus in the Rose plot.
Yes.
I mean, you could have tied Eternatus into being the true, I don't know, the secret keeper for who the real kings of Galar are or something. I don't know. Anything other than, like, a global warming sort of, like, thing, I think.
Yeah.
See, like, the whole environmentalism, global warming sort of shit, that in itself is kind of an overplayed trope, but the fact that it kind of came, like, literally out of nowhere, like, we didn't even have any foreshadowing about the fact that there was a problem. It was just Rose saying to Leon, like, well, it's for Galar's future, you know? Like, you know, there's a lot of, like, assumed stuff there. We didn't really get, like, even if there was, like, one of the things that he'd been talking about a lot was, like, worrying about the future up before that point, whereas he was just the generic leader of the Pokemon League and this successful businessman and that. We didn't really get any sense of environmental concerns there.
Yep. And also, I believe it might very much be this particular cutscene, which is the infamous one.
Oh, no.
And if it's not this one, it's immediately afterwards.
Oh, my small indie developer budget, no! Oh god, here it is.
It's beautiful. It is honestly beautiful.
I hate to play the current year card, but it was 2019 when this game came out. There is no excuse for animations that lackluster.
Yeah, no, there really isn't, especially in a cutscene that you've specifically animated specific bits. It may be sort of like poses that you've sort of just played in sort of a sequence, but still, you could have just made that so much better just by maybe just having him walking off in the direction he was facing. That might have helped.
I saw the clip of that before the game came out, and I will say that is the hardest I've laughed at a bit of in-game animation since that one cutscene from Rise of Lyric where the ship flies in. I had the exact same response from that.
Oof, that is not a comparison you want. Are we gonna get another one? We're gonna get another one?
It's just the fact that it walks in place as it spins. I don't even know what to say.
Well, even Pokemon is doing that, like, walk forward, turn 90 degrees. Like, we got rid of the grid for a reason, guys. Come on.
Like, yeah, like, if this was, like, still 2D Pokemon, that would be forgivable. It's not forgivable now.
Yeah, sorry, try a little bit harder. Like, I'm willing to cut some slack if, like, the Pokemon company's breathing down your neck, but I'm sure it doesn't take much to... Whatever. We've all said what needs to be said at this point, so no need to belabor the point. Now, our first proper legendary fight. Where did you get the sword from, exactly?
You don't want to know.
Hey...
But Zacian here, my favourite of the two legendary Pokemon in this game, the legendary box Pokemon at least. And like, I don't know, like I do like Zamazenta, but Zacian wins out in basically every way in design, and like even in the like TCG now, the Zacian V card is fantastic. It lets you set it up really quickly with its ability, and then like you can just whack out 230 on possibly turn 2 if you get it set up right. So like that's a fantastic setup as well. Zamazenta is a bit more generic than that, doesn't really do too much, but you know. Yeah, I don't think your fucking like Cinders stands too much of a chance there.
No, and to be honest, I don't quite know why you've not just gone, just here's the Master Ball, I suppose. You know, pad this out a little bit more, like, make it a proper fight, but just throw the freaking Master Ball, there's no point in keeping it around.
No, I don't need a Master Ball to take down a regular-ass legendary, okay? That's for if a shiny comes calling.
It's fair, but if you get the shiny charm, I don't think you actually get until you've caught every single Pokemon in the deck, so it's a bit more of a pain. But you don't want to burn the bloody thing. That's going to kill it off quicker than anything.
Well, at least it's going to chip away at its health every turn, and then its attack is down thanks to being burned. So, hey, I'm in the green for the most part. Oh god, no, he's going to die, and I'll have to do this all over again.
I did notice over the course of the game you didn't go into the hotel in Circhester to get the catching charm, so you don't have the benefit of a boosted critical capture rate either.
Hey, that's a thing.
Yeah, I think it's in the same room that Morimoto's in. Like, you can go once you become champion. In fact, no, I think it's actually earlier than that. As soon as you get there, you can just go and talk to him, and he'll just hand over the catching charm, and it just does boost the critical capture rate. It makes him more likely to do the one shake capture thing.
Huh. Well, how about that shit?
That would have been useful, wouldn't it?
So you learn something new every day.
Now I'm getting nervous.
It's okay. The odds are always in Tom's favour, baby.
Well, I wouldn't say that a legendary Pokemon's capture rate is in your favour, because they never bloody are.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's going straight in my pie.
That's totally fair, especially considering sort of the last little bits of the post-game to come. It just makes sense. Just put it in your bloody party. It's going to make life easier.
There's going to be a jump up of about 10 levels pretty soon, so...
Zacian's catch rate is 10, which I believe is quite a bit more than a lot of the elusive rare legendaries. That's a 3.9%, giving it out a 255, but
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So it's not one of the most generous legendary captures, they're usually the plot important ones, but it's not the worst either. I think Necrozma in Vanilla Sun and Moon was one of the worst ones.
Yes, quite.
It's called Prison.
Yes, the metal place. Take us to Metal Building, where ne'er-do-wells are wont to frequent.
We're just gonna lock you in the lift.
Also, what is the evil assistant doing here? She didn't even do anything this entire time, apart from in that one cutscene. At least there's a little bit of consistency that she's still here,
No, we need to close that plot thread, and she needs to apologise. Look, right here, for example. You don't even have a name! You were in one scene before you turned heel. You didn't... Oh, I'm seething right now.
It doesn't matter that much. It's a throwaway character in the post-game.
I haven't got irrationally mad at something in a while. Just let me have this. Yeah, I hope that legendary Pokemon with its infinite power is fine. Oh, my ass is beeping. Oh, it's the Rotom.
So the Rotom was in your ass?
I would rather not talk about it. He's got a smile. He tells no tales. Also, this is a full Pokemon. Why does this not count towards our 6?
Because
it's trapped inside the phone. It's not in a Pokeball.
Yeah, also, it seems like now that, unless it's a very specific type of Rotom, in a very specific type of appliance, it doesn't count. They're basically just the slaves of the Pokemon world now. We just need to accept this and move on.
Okay, well...
It's enslaved by the phone company rather than you personally.
Yeah, and that's a loophole I'm fine with. Alright, back to the slumbering world, where it's time to finish off Sword, at least until the expansions come out.
Yeah, and fingers crossed those expansions are worthwhile, because, while pretty much throughout this we've gone, we're sort of cautiously optimistic, I suppose, about the DLCs. Like, they could come out and be absolute shite. They could come out and actually be amazing. We don't know, but it'd be interesting either way.
Don't forget your mum can give you a quick heal if you're burned or fainted.
Yeah, which is quite useful in this one particular situation.
Also, looks like your sweet Zacian could use a little rest. Funny you should mention that.
Yeah, this is confirmation that it's just aura, essentially.
Yeah, which is a little bit underwhelming. I prefer the mental image of just having a giant fucking Pokemon rampaging everywhere.
For all intents and purposes, it's the exact same thing, so I don't know why they bothered to clarify.
I suppose it's one of the things that just... the clarification is there for people who care that much about the lore. Like, it really doesn't matter, given it literally is just a less cool Mega Pokemon, but you know.
I guess so, yeah. A lot of the Gigantamax forms are basically Mega Evolutions, let's be honest.
Yeah, but they're just not implemented as well, and I really hope Megas come back outside of just the spin-offs and that. Like, they probably won't, but I would love them to.
It would be nice. Also, I do feel like I should mention, I'm pretty sure that when you come into the Slumbering World, if you talk to Sonia, she will basically warp you to the graves.
Oh.
So it's a nice quick route if you don't want to, you know, walk through the entire Slumbering World again.
I thought she was just, like, standing there to, like, say, go get him or something.
I mean, she might do that, but I seem to recall that she does give you a walk there.
No, we'd rather play Dodge the Corviknight for a while first.
Alas, nothing super effective, let's go.
Yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. I know where my next destination is.
Nope. Don't want you, don't want you. There's a lot of you here, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, you missed the item, god damn it!
Well, it's the end of the game now, Richie.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter at this point.
Okay, so when you record the DLC, I want you to come back in here just to get that.
I'm going to start it in like a cold open, bada bing.
Just Hop taking his dog for a walk.
Now, you may have thought you've seen all of the awkward animations the game has to offer, but we're not done quite yet.
Of course not.
Who's a good legendary? You are. You are. Bark.
Yeah, can you actually scratch my chin rather than just hover hand under it, please?
No. Can't do it. Animations cost money. I know, I'm kind of done too, Flame, to be honest with you.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I was just assuming it'd be a lead into the whole indie dev thing again, and I was actually kind of relieved it wasn't.
That's fine. I've used it up now. Hop, you're amazing.
You finally did the thing that I also did.
Oh, I'm pretty chuffed. What do you call me? I mean, we are in the British region here. I won't put it past him. I think he's saying that I should catch him. Yeah, that sounds go Master Ball.
No, he was actually saying your mum's a slag, but thankfully we don't understand dog language.
Oh, thankfully. Maybe you want to back up a little bit more than, like, not at all, Hop.
I like how he throws the Pokeball that's non-existent in his hands, despite the fact that it's generally visible every single time they throw something. And also, it was literally right in front of his face, so that probably would have hurt.
I swear that's gotten bigger than a Pokeball normally is compared to his hand.
It's not even fucking connected to his hand properly. Look at it.
It's not.
Oh, that's just an animation thing in general. It does take a lot to make things connect like that without clipping through. So, you know, like, compared to some of the other offences we've seen in this game, I can let that particular one slide.
Well, so I'll tell you why that is the way it is. Well, I don't know exactly what, like, the reasoning why, but that was the item Pokeball model with his hand rather than, you know, doing what they'd done previously whenever, you know, he... because that animation that he did of throwing the Pokeball was, I'm pretty sure, exactly the animation he does at the start of a battle, where he's holding a Pokeball which is ready for that. So I don't know why they couldn't have just used that version of the model, but... Hey! Anyway, time for a battle!
Well, to answer your question, this is probably just another example of Game Freak Spaghetti Code, where they probably have like 10 different models of Hop, and that particular one they loaded up in the overworld isn't the one that's got the battle throw animation linked to it.
Yeah, like, they had a different Lily for every cutscene in Sun and Moon for reasons I don't even fucking know. But this is a good battle. This is Hop's finale, shall we say.
Yeah, and it is quite awesome, I do like it.
And the double is level 69, nice.
Nice. Too bad I'm one level higher, bitch!
And we sent our legendary out straight away off the bat.
Well, I wanted it out there just in case he countered with his, which by the way is weak to ours, haha!
Yeah, this is why Sword is better, because Zamazenta cannot stand up to Zacian.
He nearly swept me in Shield. That's how bad the, like, exchange was.
Yep.
Oh, I suppose if you come prepared, it's not a problem.
Well, I was prepared. I had a legendary, I had counters for all his Pokemon, but when he sent out Zacian, that's when shit went to pot.
Yeah, well, maybe you weren't prepared enough, but I like that he sends out his 2 normal types against our legendary Pokemon that has a fighting move.
It's okay. That's why we're the champion and he's not.
Basically, yeah. Well, let's take out the Rillaboom once more. Just another flaming rock to the face.
I like these little cut-ins with the dialogue and such.
This is finally giving Hop the bit of characterisation that he really been due throughout the main game.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he's coming to terms with what it is that he's wanted to do, and like he's got his final team, how he likes them, and like just the becoming friendly with the legendary Pokemon in itself, that I feel like, you know, it's a bit of something that he's done himself. It's not just him trying to copy his brother for something.
Yeah.
And like that is pretty much the crux of where I found flaws in Hop during the main game. It was pretty much that he had this character flaw of he just wanted to be like his brother, but it was never really addressed as a flaw properly. It was just like constantly, well, I want to beat Leon, I want to beat Leon. And it's only at the very tail end of the post-game quest where he starts finding something that he can be good at for himself. You know, it feels like a little bit late for that sort of thing to start kicking in.
It does, but equally, it also feels like the right time for Hop in a way, because of the way that his character is. Like, it took getting that far and having just it completely shattered before he could actually start to think about alternates and different routes. And so obviously this is that sort of moment where finally he can. And I mean, while the pacing is not necessarily the best, it is still sort of, I think, a really good arc overall for Hop.
Yeah.
I still think that there should have been something brought up around the time when he was sulking because he lost to Bede. And maybe that idea could have been a bit touched upon, that maybe he should focus on his own strengths rather than just trying to do what Leon does.
Well,
agreed.
That would require the pro tag to have a fully fleshed out character and not just be a player avatar.
Well, there are other characters around him. Like, we had Opal make a comment, I distinctly remember, and like, I feel like there's enough other characters that could have said something, or maybe just like raised the idea to him. But you know, like in terms of this game's problems, that is just one element of it. And if there were things that I would rather be fixed, it would much like I would prioritise the stuff about letting you see the ravaging Dynamax Pokemon and letting you be part of the actual story rather than sweeping past it, more so than let's do something cool with a rival. But you know, it's just one little thing that sticks out to me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cinderace would have helped here.
It really would, but you know, it's at the end of the game and I kind of stopped caring. Oh, son of a bitch!
Yeah, he could do that too.
Oh well, I got more overdrives where that came from, Sonny, and your light screen ain't gonna last all day.
Sure as fuck lasts long enough, though.
Sure does. It's okay, I can wear a few more drill packs, it's fine.
Yeah, and he's not really going to stand much more chance, although there's every chance that he might use another Forester, because they do tend to have a couple, these late game foes.
Sorry, small and your company can't afford more than one. I know it's not funny at this point, that's where it becomes extra funny. The excruciation of the audience.
Yeah, but it's not proper funny when you can own it like that, though. It's more when it becomes like the man is trying to make the same joke again and he thinks he's still funny. That's when it's entertaining.
Oh, is the Jesus ripoff going to talk to me about stealing other people's bits and whatnot, not being as funny?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. Glad we cleared that up. Not really. Oh my god. What kind of cunt must you be to go through all of what we've been through and then say nah at the end?
Nah, this is easy. I'll just sweep you.
Here comes my intrepid sword, lad. You ready? Yeah, I got my dauntless shield like in it.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at all. Sacred Sword's gonna just smash through this completely.
Yay, beam a bash. It's not going to do much, honestly.
I can hit you with this shield really hard.
Ouch.
I mean, to be fair, that did pretty well, but it's no Sacred Sword.
Yeah, we've got the advantage here and it fucking shows.
And we're done. Hop is down. Even with a legendary, he could not beat us. That's it. He's toast.
Yeah, and this is why we're the champion and he's not.
I feel like now I'm the champion, I'm allowed to use legendaries. It's getting up to that point where, you know, don't use them.
Agreed.
You just want an excuse for being cheap, I get it.
Basically.
We know, we just swept you.
We're even better than a Charizard, if such a thing is possible.
Yeah, but Charizard's getting brought back next gen and we're not.
Fair dues, fair dues.
There might even be another Charizard from next gen.
Oh, the Pokemon Professor, oh, I want him to come back in, like, a future game and, like, be older and, like, have his Professor get up and whatnot. That'd be great.
So, basically, we want Hop to... Well, effectively what we want is we want a Sword and Shield 2, because obviously that had Cheren as a gym leader and a teacher, and Bianca as, like, a full-on Pokemon Professor assistant. But obviously with Sonia being the full-on professor and Hop being the assistant, and that would be... I would be down with that, honestly.
Yeah. Oh. He's a bro to the end.
It's a shame we don't get like a proper fist bump at the end, because that'd seal it for me. But you know, a handshake does the job.
Yeah, well, easier to just program. No, Tom. Not
just
now.
Stop.
Yeah, just stop. I've made my point.
Yeah, it's the end of the playthrough now.
Gotta start somewhere, Hop, and this is your step on the ladder, mate. Your foot in the wrong.
You finally made it as an unpaid intern.
Yes, fuck yes. Oh god, don't start doubting yourself now. You finally have a purpose in life.
This is me tier level of pity parties as something's going well.
Oh, that feel when no internship, I suppose.
God, I was waiting for a pop-up with yes or no.
Again, we are not clapping, because clapping is for commoners. Yeah. Why is Leon still dressed as a champion, exactly?
Well, it's a cool cape. Come on, let him have it.
I prefer his battle tower get-up, honestly.
It is better, but still.
But at the same time, I can respect the cape. The cape is cool.
We're not going to get it. in the post-game, well, not the post-game, the DLC stuff, costume editions and whatnot, but hey, we can dress as a mini Rose, so hey.
God, that is so awkward, that Rose costume, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, he's just been setting stuff up, commissioning Toby Fox to make music for him and so on. Always Leon's face gonna have egg on it, execute even, when he realises the subtext of that music. Yes, they are apologetic, I think, although they're still kind of being cunty in the way they're apologising.
Oh yeah, you got to keep some character traits, don't you? You can't just do like a full 180 on it.
Yeah. So, any closing statements before we sign off here, Rich?
Sword and Shield are fun games, not perfect, but still adequate.
Yeah, I pretty much echo that. It's like, it does the job. It's got a lot of problems, and we've talked about them at length, but on the whole, I did have fun playing through both Sword on my first run and Shield when I went back through it. So, like, you know, I hope they improve upon things next generation. I hope the DLC that this game's getting will fix a lot of stuff up, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but it's not the worst either.
That's a good way of putting it. Gen 8 is like slap bang in the middle for me. Like, lower middle at the very worst. It's not a train wreck like everyone wanted it to be. It's also not the best game ever invented. It's missing a lot of features, but what's there is at least serviceable. You're getting the Pokemon experience, even if you're not getting it with bells on and whatnot. Although, you know, maybe put a bit more budget into it next time, because graphically this looks a lot like a 3DS game in some areas, and it really shouldn't on HD hardware and whatnot. But we've sassed this small indie developer enough about their animations and textures and so on. So yeah, this has been the HellfireComms playthrough of Pokemon Sword, and we'll be back later in the year when we take a trip to the Isle of Armor and also the Crown Tundra to check out the DLC expansion. So we hope you guys come back then and join us. Bye bye for now.